Okay guys, here we are doing beta testing for Spinal's newest F-15EX. This is going to be the mod 1.9.5 variant. So with that said, just taking a look at the aircraft. Looks about the same from the outside, which is a very good looking aircraft. We're just going to go over some of the weapons loadout and see what's changed, if anything's changed at all. So we still have the Peregrine, and we've got the multiple variants of the AIM-120 to include the AIM-120 Delta, which I'm very fond of. We've still got the AIM-9X, but I can see we've got the AIM-9X Block 2 Plus. So this is an addition that it's been put on the 1.9.5 mod, as well as the AIM-174 Delta. I'm not too familiar with this missile, but it looks like it's heavy because you can only carry one. Let's take a look at this thing. It looks like I don't know what it looks like. Maybe a Phoenix? Anyway, it's a large missile. We'll go ahead and throw these on the pylons 1 and 11. And let's take a look at everything else. Let's see what else we can take. So it looks like the 174 Delta isn't available on pylons 9 and 3. Let's take a look at 4 and 8. 4 and 8 is showing me that I've got the full selection of different missiles that I can select from, which is good. Let's see 7 and 9. 7 and 9, I am not seeing. Obviously the heaters, the Fox 2s aren't here, but I'm not seeing the 174. I may be overlooking it. I'm a little bit tired. Just got home from a little bit of work. So anyways, just these two missiles alone have bumped up the total weight of the aircraft. So yeah, we're not at our max gross weight, but we're there or about. As a matter of fact, it took away some. Yeah, we're at 98% of our max gross weight, which is something. So with that said, again, 2 new weapons that we can add, that has been added rather, and that's going to be the AIM-9X Block 2 Plus, as well as the AIM-174 Delta. So next, let's take a look at the startup, and we'll get her in the air. Just hold on a few moments for me. One thing I am very happy to say about these new mods is we don't have to jump into the F-15C and then jump into the mod like we did before. So this is my first look at this particular mod, the glass cockpit, not obviously with the glass cockpit, but the 1.9.5, and as you can see, we were able to jump straight into the aircraft. Okay, the canopy is up, so they've changed. Oh man, that's great. I don't know if you guys seen the previous videos, but the canopy was not up. It is now. Let's take a look. Flight controls are working. Let's go and get the electrical panel turned on. Everything is looking good so far. Let's turn it off, turn it on. Got my bore sight mode, vertical scan, and radar should be on and working, which it is. Got in BVR mode now. PRF taking it to high. Staying high, let's take it to medium. Stay to medium, let's go automatic. Back and forth. Perfect. Alright, so far so good. Compass rose looks great. It's showing the 174s on the weapons page, so that's excellent. Got my 260s loaded up. Jammer is warming up. Let's see if it comes on. Jammer's on. So that's good. We are, compass road is showing due north, as is the heading tape. Something looks a little. Yeah, I can't just look straight and see my altitude or my airspeed, which is a bit weird. I don't know if that's changed. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. What's it? Right control H. But yeah, so as I sit here, if I need to look at a lot of stuff, I got to kind of move my head left and right. Not the biggest thing. I'm pretty sure Spinal can get that worked out pretty easily. I'm not sure, but I assume as much. Anyway, so we've got electric power on. Radar is on. Jamming is working. Weapons page. Weapon select. Got my 2 different missiles that I could select, so that's good. Back to nav mode. Let's hit that again. This is my ILS, nav. Let's go through my, I have no waypoints here actually, so I'm not gonna worry about that. Nav mode looks like it's working correctly. Again, BVR, we checked that out a little earlier. Looks good. Let's hit F. Again, the landing gear light indications are not working. I've hit F and the flap's not working either. Let's go and get her started up. Let's take a look at my position lights, work, anti-collision, flashing. Let's get her started. Actually, before we do that, F2. I did hit F and it does not look, did I hit F? Let's hit F again. Flaps aren't working. Maybe the engines need to be started first, not sure. Oh, that sounds good. I don't know what just happened. I did start the engine, but alright. They fixed the canopy issue, so it's looking good now. Let's go left control C. Canopy comes down. Reduced noise. Excellent. Let's take a look at the mirrors. Oh crap, I can see myself. I never fly with the mirrors, but working. So good. Here's this guy in the back. If you move the controls, he moves, which is pretty cool. Alright. It sounds like, unlike the previous EX mods, this is starting one engine at a time, which is pretty cool. So this one is scripted off of the F-15C, more so, I assume, which is very good because I love the C model. Fuel looks good. Again, the RPMs, I just wish there was, I don't want to complain much, but I just wish there was a way to blow this up. This is important because when you're cruising and you're thinking about fuel, you want to ensure that you are not in burner, which essentially when you get to 68%, you're at mil power, but you can push it forward a little more obviously, and it'll stay at 68%, and then the burner, even at the kind of lower levels, will kick on. All right, so far so good. Let's look at our air brake works. External view, hitting F. Oh. Alright, so the flaps are working. Taxi light is working as well. So far so good. Let's take her up. Let's take her up. Let's take her for a spin. So far, so everything is working really well. I wish there was an F that I could indicate that the flaps and gear are up. So because there is not, I'm gonna have to. Man, she's heavy. I'm taxiing out at 77%. So again, this is different with the other EX mods. You'd have to pretty much be over 80% in order to taxi. The yawing is gone. The hard yawing with the previous EX mods, the 1.8 plus the 1.7 to 1.6, that's gone. This is taxiing like an F-15C, which is really good. And she's got the weight loadout of a EX or an E, which is, I believe this is how much the E is. I gotta double check that. But yeah, for sure, the max gross weight of 81,000 is what the E has as well. Now for takeoff, again, this is handling more like a C model, but under the C model, I'll usually start rotating anywhere between 130 to 150, and you choose to wait a little bit further than that, and the tires will pop. Whereas in the EX as well as the E, I don't start rotating until 180, between 180 to 200 and plus knots, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off, and I'm going to, and it's obviously going to depend on, the type of tires that they decided to kind of mod. Actually, I don't know what it depends on, but let's give her a shot. Let's run up the engines. I don't know what RPM I'm at, and let's go. Oh, she's heavy. Burners have kicked in, but she is heavy for sure. She's accelerating good. That's 130. I'm gonna wait till 180. Tires haven't popped, which is good. Gear up, flaps up. Again, I've got to go to F2. Alright, both gear and flaps are up, which is good. She is getting past the departure in at 300 knots. A little slow, but again, she is thick. And I think it's because these fat missiles I got. I'm pretty sure of it. But she's accelerating very well. Accelerating well and maneuvering well. So just like the mod 1.9.3, she's maneuvering like the C model. So you've got improved maneuverability as opposed to the previous EX, as well as the F-15E mod, as well, F-15E, excuse me. So this thing maneuvers very well. You got to remember, she's at 98%, or she was. I'd say she's about 95% of max gross weight, so she's handling very well. The HUD, as you can see, I'm kind of moving my head left and right to get the information I want to get. A little annoying, but like I said, I think we can get a quick fix for that. So again, the yaw that we had, the hard yawing while taxiing on the ground, is no longer an issue, and we've got much improved maneuverability of the aircraft. So far so good. Very happy. Next, we'll go ahead and check out the radar and see if we can get radar contact with bandits. I believe in the mod 1.8 we're getting radar contact at, I don't know, about 100 miles, a little 100 miles, 100 plus miles, and I'm talking about strictly fighters. So we'll see if we can duplicate that with this one. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, here we are in the air, in the EX. So the purpose of this portion of the video will be to see how far, how great of a distance that we need to be between fighter type aircraft before we get radar contact with them. Now I'm not going to go over an engagement or anything like that. Once again, the HUD is, I gotta turn my head a little bit to the left to see what altitude I'm passing. Let's go ahead and put it to our high PRF. The only thing we're testing, like I said, is just the radar. So I think in another video I'll test the AIM 174 Delta, and we've already tested out the AIM 260s, which we are loaded up with, as you can see. So let's take a look. Let's figure this out. Like I said, I gotta turn my head to the right to see the speed, left to see the altitude. A little annoying. We do have 6 bandits out in the distance. Okay, here's first contact. Let's take a look at the distance. How far away is he? First contact at 99 miles. Which is wrong. That's not 99 miles. That's about 120. There's another contact. Okay. So I'd say about 119, 120 miles. For some reason, as far as the hostile aircraft information, the max it's reading is 99, whereas again we got radar contact with this guy at, I'd say, 100 and about 120 miles, 115, 120 miles. So we are seeing that as far as when you want to give your BRAW information. So BRAW 3504, it's a 99, but this bandit is more like 100 and I don't know, coming up on 100 miles. So 100, 110. So that's a little off. But other than that, yeah, good RWR spike. We do have 15s out there. Let's drop him. Let's take this to a RWS scan. So anyways, yeah, that's a very good radar. If I'm able to get radar contact with fighters at 120 miles, that's insane. That is really, really good. So with that said, I think this is going to wrap up my testing. Like I said, we'll do another video on the AIM-174 at another time. This is excellent work. Again, the biggest things I'm noticing, so just to be clear, this is an improvement over all the previous mods. The only thing I would say that needs to be worked on, other than the lights, which I've been talking about that for a while, the lights with the landing gear as well as with the flap, I'd say the HUD, for some reason, the symbology it's actually where it needs to be. It's actually large so I can read it, but it's just the HUD display is too small to read it, whereas before the HUD display is the same. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but the HUD is actually the same size, but the symbology is smaller, so I always have to zoom in to read it. So I don't know if there's a compromise out there between the symbology size as well as the HUD display, but I like the size. I can be kind of far back and I can still see I'm at 31,000. I can be far back and see that I'm at 440 knots ish, whereas before, if I want to see this information, I got to zoom all the way in and go okay, and then zoom in and zoom out. So perhaps not now, but obviously down the road, perhaps a larger HUD would be able to capture all of the symbology at this size, and I think that'd be perfect. And other than that, man, I'm very pleased with the aircraft. Let's see. Oh man, yeah, I mean, look how hard it turns. That's excellent. Yeah, it handles like the C model, which is really good. Yeah, great job, Spino, Infidel, helping out. Great bot job as well. And I think that's all I got for this one. I think I kind of ran through everything. And appreciate you guys watching. See you for the next one.